Thank you, Mr. President. Gershom Bassey, Cross River South. Mr. President, I move the motion that the Senate do consider the report of the Joint Committees on Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FERMA, Petroleum, Downstream, and National Planning on the motion on non-remittance of the 5% user charge pump price of petrol and international vehicle transit charge accruing to the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. I so move.
Mr. President, Dr. Gabriel Suswam, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Senator Gershom Bassey.
Motion that the Senate do consider the report of the Joint Committee on Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FERMA, Petroleum, Resources Downstream, and National Planning on the motion on non-remittance of the 5% user charge pump price of petroleum and international vehicles transit charges accruing to the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency. Say aye. Those against, say nay. Mr. Chairman, please present the report.
Federal roads. The motion was sponsored by me. We talked about issues of security on our roads, insecurity on our roads, the negative effect on our economy, and the abysmal funding of FERMA, which is the government agency with the responsibility for the maintenance of our federal roads. The Senate mandated the Joint Committee on Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Petroleum, Downstream, and National Planning by order of referral dated Tuesday 15th, 2019 to investigate the non-remittance of the 5% user charge pump price of petrol and international vehicle transit charge accruing to FERMA and other established state road maintenance agency to investigate the non-compliance. The committee received input from all stakeholders, and I will go straight to the committee's findings on page 14 of the report. Number one, arising from the investigation, the committee observed that Section 14 of the FERMA Act of 2007 provided for funding of FERMA through imposing 5% of the oil pump price, and 40% of the accrued funds is yet to be remitted to FERMA. 2, charges on the international vehicle transit charge, as may be determined by the Honorable Minister of Transportation, are yet to be remitted to FERMA since 2007. 3, there was no clarity of purpose towards the implementation of the 5% surcharge as envisaged in the FERMA Amendment Act. On the Minister for Transport, we wrote to him, I think, 2 times, and he consistently insisted that he had no knowledge of this part of the law, and he didn't even feel that he had the responsibility for this part of the law. We also wrote to the customs and asked for some clarification, but we didn't seem to get it. It appears that there is a loophole in the lawmaking that allows people to wriggle out. So that was my observation on that. On the consumption, the daily consumption rates, I think that changes every day. So this is just to give a picture of the volume of consumption that we have and a guide. But it is not supposed to be the daily, everyday consumption rate. It's supposed to paint a picture in the report. Thank you.
All the 5 or 6 have questions. I'm not. It's like nothing like collection has been going on. Like no collections have taken place at all.
Yeah, no. Passed the law in 2007. Nothing.
So if nothing was collected, so why would you ask the Minister of Finance to ask the Accountant General to pay money? If there was no collection, which money?
I agree with everything you've said in terms of coordination and so on, but I think the legislature also has a role to play. And if you look at recommendation 3, that is the very important role. What we discovered was that the law that was setting up the PPPRA, which has probably been repealed now as part of the Petroleum Industry Act, does not capture the 5%. And so the PPPRA at the time kept saying to us that the 5% is not in their law. So there's a need to capture that 5% in their law. Because even though, as Senator Dambaba said, it is in the template, they allocated nothing to it because they say it is not compulsory. So we need to capture that in the law, the 5% in the law in whatever agency, maybe the Downstream agency now, that is responsible for this tax, because we are part of that tax. That tax captures the unions, it captures different people, but it does not capture FERMA. So that is extremely important for us. The second thing is the Nigerian Customs Services. We may need to capture it also in their own act, this vehicle tax, so that they know that they have to remit that also to FERMA. I think that is the legislation that we need to do in these chambers, and then subsequently we do the coordination. Thank you, Mr. President.